Maria, you talked about North Macedonia and the scenario in your country. So do you actually think that youth is in a focus of everyone's work, and that the well-being and the great quality of work with youth is promised from the government and other organizations?
Can I go? Or the first
let's go in the order of the presentation.
Yeah, I didn't know if the first part was for Agon or not.
I mean, it was the question for both of you and for everyone here in the poll.
Okay, thank you. Well, let me go because I was not sure if the first part was for Agon, because in my presentation, I mentioned that young people are not satisfied, are not consulted, are very skeptical. And of course, that they think, majority of them think that the government and all the institutions is not even aware of the youth problems and youth needs. So I don't think that everybody is, that youth are priorities. When it comes to the civil society sector, yes, definitely. But when it comes to the government and all the institutions, I would say not, or even when it is, it's not really meaningful, because we are aware that yes, youth are being mentioned in all the political campaigns and especially before elections, and we hear a lot of promises, but then when it comes to the reality and real work, I don't think that young people are a priority, unfortunately, of course.
I mean, it's a broad and general question. It depends on the context, the country, the specific environment, or the actor. Obviously, it's a broader problem of democracy. It's not just youth that are not heard. It's you know, and I agree with Maria. I mean, it's obviously you know, there's a problem with accountability in general. It's a lot of other marginalized groups, vulnerable groups, you know, and it has to do with degree of political power also. So I think the context where youth is more heard is where youth is more able to mobilize and advocate more. I can talk about the context of Kosovo. You know, you could see in Kosovo case, it's also because of demographic structure. There's much more youth in the overall population. We just have a very, very young population. So when you have numerically more youth, you know, they are more heard in the overall population. And they also drive change more, because youth are more energetic, and they played a very important role. Like youth and women drove a lot of the political changes that happened over the past years. So it has to do with political power. So youth are heard as much as they are voicing, I think, their concerns and are being active. In general, I don't think they are being heard. I don't think, you know, but that's fairly common, and you know, this unresponsiveness, you know, towards gender issues, towards you know, poverty issues, towards, you know, if you don't have, if you're not you know, the voices that are heard are those that have economic power and that can dictate developments. Where youth is heard is, as Maria mentioned, civil society, but also I think a lot of the, especially donor community, development agencies, you know, who study the region and look at what the problems are and what the challenges are. I think increasingly they understand and see that youth concerns and outward migration and brain drain is a major concern. So I hope that kind of answers your question. Thank you.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Any other question, please? Mario Merdani, please.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
A bit louder, please.
I believe it should be a bit better now.
Yes, yes, now it's fine.
Okay, so I heard it being treated as an economical, in economical, in the economical aspect and in the political aspect, the migration and the brain drain of youth. But is it seen or has it been taken into consideration as cultural factors? I know that in Albania we've had for the past years, we've had massive internal migrations. You know, people moving from city to city due to opportunities that were being fairly central. You know, mainly concentrated in the central cities. So, do you think that that has happened like through the entire region, and that, of course, there are cultural clashes and a massive migration, such as Albania has seen, is fairly fairly difficult, if not impossible, for the existing communities to adapt and to maybe absorb. So do you think that could be a reason, or there's no data, no correlation to be drawn there? Thanks. That's for everyone.
Maria, do you want to go first, or?
It's okay, I can start. Well, regarding this internal migration from one place to another, especially from rural to urban area, it's definitely happening throughout the years. And also the census that I mentioned is showing some of this. Like we have some of the municipalities that are literally emptied, some municipalities that there are no young people. But for me, what I can say here, I would mention that I don't see really a problem in this internal migration. I don't even see a problem, as Agon was saying, when young people are leaving just because they see better opportunities abroad, whether education or employment. And that can be something really beneficial for the country itself if they come back. But the problem is when young people are leaving, they're getting skills, competencies, they are qualified people that our countries need them, but they never come back. So I see problem when our governments in the region are not doing anything to attract, to bring those people back. I can share, especially for my country, I know that young people that have been, for example, financed and supported by our governments to study in some of the prestigious universities around the world, they have never been contacted later on from the government. They have never been offered an job opportunity, for example, or any other opportunities, so they can be they could be attracted to come back and invest what they gain in the country. So I see problem in this. Agon, if you have something,
sure,
please.
sure. I mean, it's just, I think the internal